Hi, I'm John DeVore. Welcome to the DeVore Fidelity YouTube channel. Today's going to be a Monkeyhaus tour, and I'm going to talk about some of the art again hanging on the walls here. And this is, I'm actually going to talk about three pieces by an artist who's also a really good friend of mine, a close friend of mine, who a lot of people watching this in the audiophile world may also know because he did quite a bit of writing in hi-fi magazines and websites. And so the artist is Michael Lavorgna. The pieces I have here, I have one sculpture, this little guy here, Spaceman #1. I have this painting on paper, mixed media, I guess, which also has Spaceman, a little Spaceman figure in it. And then the third piece I have is a print that he made quite a few years ago called Audiophile Tree of Life. I met him, how many years ago? I mean, maybe 15, maybe more. He was writing for a magazine called 6 Moons, but since then he has written in quite a few different places, including Stereophile magazine, both in the magazine and on the website. He had his own website through Stereophile called AudioStream. He was involved in 2 really beautiful hi-fi magazine startups. One was American Wired, and one was a European magazine called Inner something. I will have to look it up and I will display it somewhere in the screen here. And then the other one was Twittering Machines. And all of them, while certainly writing about hi-fi, all of them also really did have a very artistic perspective. And all of them, especially the ones where he had full control over, especially Twittering Machines, had a lot of content in there that was not just audio. It was, he did reviews of art books. There were think pieces about the crossovers of science and art and hi-fi, things like that. A lot of really cool content. And the rumor mill in the hi-fi world right now is that he will be back writing in hi-fi. So stay tuned for that. But in the meantime, I'm here to talk about his art. The first piece of his that I got many years ago, as I said, is the Audiophile Tree of Life. And it's a beautiful piece, printed with the figure of a man, a sort of a Renaissance man. And around him are sort of, musical or hi-fi chakras, one could say. We have mind, music, fidelity, knowledge, hi-fi, records, gear lover, music lover, record collector, gear collector, love songs, lust songs. He stands upon the world of action. And then there are intersections of illusion and art and empathy, accuracy, soundstage, detail, joy, love, death, soundstage, detail, frequency response, sex, lust, and palpability, groove, and presence. And they are all interconnected, and it's a brilliant piece. I know he's not printing any more of these because they were limited edition. He printed only as many as he had paper for, and he printed them on paper that he can't get anymore because this was a sketchbook that he had since he was a kid, which is kind of amazing too. But I don't know one way or another, but he may have more of these left for sale. I do know that he has a good Instagram presence and posts new art several times a week. And he has michaellavorgna.com, and I'll have links to both of those down below. The other 2 pieces I have are sort of related, I guess, in that Spaceman appears in them. One, Spaceman #1, it's a mixed media sculpture, wax and encaustic, copper wire, obviously. So this little guy seems to be carrying the head of Medusa, or maybe some threatening alien presence that he just saved me from. He's, in my opinion, he's a very lucky totem. When I was a kid, I was absolutely obsessed with the space program. I was alive for the 1969 Apollo 11 moon landing. though I don't remember it happening live, but I studied everything. I mean, I knew all about the Saturn V and the landing modules and the command capsule. I loved Skylab. I was obsessed with Skylab as a kid. It was like my dream was to go and visit Skylab. And so he's my a sort of a lucky totem here in Monkeyhaus in my office. I really do think he's sort of beautiful, and he has a great style and gesture with almost a almost a sort of funky Rodin texture, but in an odd MTV generation subject matter. And then the other one is this painting up here, which actually is slightly cropped in this frame because I found this frame on eBay, this crazy funky heavily carved frame, and it fit so close to perfect that it had to be, and I think it looks amazing in the frame. But it's only cutting off a little bit of the demons on either end. But we have here a trio of demons holding hands over what seems to be a sun, and we have poor Spaceman falling upside down from what seems to be a UFO style spaceship up at the top, and it's so evocative. I mean, his current art, he does actually talk about content in that he gives his pieces very evocative names. So the name is a very important part of the piece. In these earlier pieces, he didn't name them intentionally, and so he leaves a lot to read into it. And I really do love that. I feel like the demons there are kind of doing their own thing, maybe having a party. They look happy in a way. I mean, they are holding hands. And the spaceman doesn't necessarily look like he's in for any harm, because I know he survived because he's here. But I know that he's got a great story to tell about what happened to him around that fiery red star. And someday I hope to know the story. So there's tons of new art from Michael, most of which is pretty small format, this sort of size. He creates art all the time. He really, I mean, he was an artist before he was an audiophile, kind of like me. We both went to art school. We were both actually interested in hi-fi before art school. His father was an audiophile, and both of us have in different ways connect the worlds of art and hi-fi and appreciation of the artistic bits of hi-fi, or even the acoustic bits of art in different ways. And I think if the rumors are true and he is coming back to write for the hi-fi industry again, I think that's going to be a great thing. But in the meantime, he is an artist, even if he's not writing about hi-fi. Check out his websites or Instagram accounts if you're interested in any of his art. There is tons of it there to experience and see. He has a great sense of humor, which is woven into nearly every piece. And also in this crazy COVID time, I know I've talked about using Bandcamp to support musicians as often as one can. Essentially, you're buying music more directly from the musician. They get to keep a much higher percentage of it. But let's broaden that whole thing out. And if there are any artists, whether it's Michael Lavorgna or whether it's any other artists that you follow on Instagram or that you're interested in, check out. See if they have their own page for sales, or if they have an Etsy account or anything like that, and help people out. There's a lot of people who don't work in any kind of a field where one can work at home. So either they're laid off, or if you're an artist or a musician or some kind of perpetual freelancer, times are really tough. So if you have the luxury of working from home, or maybe you just need to decorate a new little spot, a new little office nook where you are now working, and you don't want to just stare at your bulletin board all the time. There's lots of amazing art and lots of very worthy artists out there. So take a look and remember, if you can, to support artists. That's my soapbox for today. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you at the next video. Bye.